a lot of people are very, very angry today about this clip. Oh my God. When asked if he vote for Gavin Newsom or J.D. Vance for president, Hassan said that he would vote third party. This proves Hassan doesn't care about any marginalized groups he pretends to support. All he cares about is taking money from them so he can buy more outfits for his stream. Why do you give this? What is this? Like, this is a tiny little water bottle. Okay, let's watch it.
For him.
Disappointed in
Who
Gavin
do you vote
Newsom.
for, J.D. Vance or Gavin Newsom?
Well, I'd have to vote for Gavin Newsom,
Me
of
too.
course, 100%.
I wouldn't blink.
There's no
What
doubt.
about you, Hassan?
I'd probably vote third party.
You would?
Oh, yeah. I mean, at that point, it doesn't even matter. Like, because my policy on this is the same as, like, my refusal to endorse Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
The reason why I did not endorse Kamala Harris was because she did things that were not only unproductive, but also unconscionable.
I gotta say it. I think Hassan's right. I do. I don't think that you should have the moral authority to tell someone that they're obligated to choose the lesser of two evils if they feel uncomfortable doing so. And I think that he has every right to make a basically be a conscientious objector to an election and choose not to vote for those lesser of two evils. I think the people that are angry at him are being unfair.
And I still stand on that. I still talk about it all the time because people constantly bring it up. They're like, you didn't sufficiently like promote Kamala Harris.
But like, there's also like, this is the other truth, right? The two people, Renee Good and Alex Preddy, would probably still be alive right now if Kamala Harris was the president. This is undeniable. And I think that you should acknowledge that whenever you say, if you're going to be making a principled voting decision, there will be consequences for that. And in not choosing the lesser of two evils, sometimes you end up getting the greater of those two evils. Like and again, but am I wrong about this? You need long-term thinking. You do. But like, even if having long-term thinking doesn't remove your accountability. Like, both things are true. You should say, yes, they died, that's bad, or whatever, but this is still where my principles are. I think that trying to, assume that nothing else bad happened is unfair. You can't put those deaths because of that. Okay, I'm gonna pull you up. How many people would be dead because of illegal migrants? I understand that. Do you think that they would still be alive right now if Kamala Harris was the president? I want you to think for yourself. I want you to come to a conclusion by using your own mind. I want you to think for yourself right now. Don't tell me what somebody else said. What do you think? And don't answer a different question. There's no way to tell. Just like others might be dead because she's not. No. You didn't answer. So there's no way to tell. So was Kamala Harris going to use ICE to go around and remove and deport illegal aliens? Was she going to do that the same way Trump did in Minnesota? Bro, voting doesn't matter. I don't understand why people around the world are obsessed with this bullshit. I mean, yeah, you absolutely should vote. Don't ever think that voting doesn't matter. Like, two things are true. You should never be pressured into voting if you don't feel comfortable voting for a candidate. And also, voting does matter, and you should always vote if you choose to vote. Both things are true. No, I mean, like, the argument makes no sense, just like other Americans could have died because of the illegals they let in. Exactly. So there are acceptable casualties, and there are consequences that lead to people dying by making decisions for not voting for the lesser of two evils. This is an objective reality. It is. And you're right. It's a wash, right? Sometimes people get killed in one way. Sometimes they get killed in another way. But to act like that's not what's happening is not true. All I want is for people to be honest. Just be honest. That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking for a lot, am I? I think I'm being pretty reasonable. Yeah, pointless to make because she wasn't elected. Well, what I'm saying is that, no. Here's what my point is that there are tangible negative effects Trump has made towards liberal agendas. And Hassan and the people like him who chose not to vote for Kamala Harris on a principled decision basis, based off of how she treated Gaza or how she looked at, for example, ICE or anything else, their decision and their unwillingness to vote for that lesser of two evils has caused people and has eroded the values of the things that they support. Now, you can say that look at the bigger picture, and I would even agree with you, but in the short term, that has happened, and it's undeniable that that's happened. But I just don't think that's the reason why you should pressure him into doing it. Every decision has consequences. To pretend like it doesn't is a lie.
Efficiently, like, promote Kamala Harris. You're the reason why she lost. And I'm like, I am incapable. There is no singular force in this country that is capable of making or breaking an election. And if that was real, then it is the most idiotic thing not to listen to my demands. But everybody knows that that's not real, right? If I had this singular force to be able to make Kamala Harris the president, then Kamala Harris should be coming to me every day.
I think it's undeniable that people that are trying to push for a third party, obviously they do hold a sway in the election, depending on what happens, for sure.
And being like, let me do a collab with you, please.
Totally.
Right? That's not the case, of course, and they know it. That's why they didn't do it. But the campaigns are always responsible for whether or not they are able to win the crowds, win the population over, and combat against the couch. Not necessarily even against the Republican Party, but usually you're fighting against the couch, people who just don't go out and vote.
Yeah, he's right.
And for me, the way I see it is if the Democratic establishment makes this decision one more time, just as they did with Hillary Clinton, just as they did with Kamala Harris, and in some ways just as they did with Joe Biden as well.
I think that's one of the reasons why Hillary Clinton didn't win. It's because they obviously, they roached out on Bernie. I think that if they had given Bernie an honest shot and the voters for Bernie felt like he was treated properly, I bet Hillary Clinton might have won the election. And the reason why is because at least they wouldn't have been disrespected and lied to and manipulated. But whenever you take and you sideline your most passionate group of people who care the most about your ideals, Bernie was a liar? Okay, well, if he's a liar, then what does that make Hillary Clinton? So if you sideline those people, you demotivate them to go out and vote for you. You do. Third parties have trouble, though? Well, I know that, but inside of swing states and certain different districts, they do make a difference and an impact. And you can see that with the votes for Jill Stein in 2024, for example. It's true.
Which led to Trump, too. Then they just don't care. And there's not much I can do.
Let me tell
beyond
you
that.
something. I agree with everything you say, but as a person who lived in a red state for 50 years, I would crawl through 10 feet of concrete to vote for Gavin Newsom, even though I think he's duplicitous, a hypocrite, a thirst trap, hungry for power, all of the things that you say, and harms the Democratic Party and sets the psychological soil to be more prey to fascism. All of that I agree with. But there are so many young, queer, black, brown, marginalized people in red states. And even though this corporate Democrat is, you see it in a long-term game. In the short-term game, a President Newsom over a President J.D. Vance.
Yep, there it is. It's emotional. I mean, again, she a retard? Here's my opinion. I think these are two philosophical decisions, and neither of them are wrong. That's generally what my viewpoint is. I don't think either one of them are wrong, and anybody who's trying to assert that their viewpoint is you can't criticize it, you can't talk about it, you can't fight against it, I think they're full of shit. I think the fact is that it's totally valid what she's saying, and it's totally valid what Hassan is saying. You should never expect somebody to vote for the lesser of two evils. You should never think that you have the moral authority to say, you should vote for something, and you have to vote for something, and you're morally obligated to vote for my candidate because even though it doesn't fulfill your principles, it's closer to what I think your principles are than this other person, so you're now obligated to take my side. It's unfair. It's completely unfair. Oh, he replied, "You're in a sex cult led by a pedophile streamer?" What? What the fuck does that even mean? Destiny? What the fuck does this have to do with destiny? But
For him.
Disappointed.
Man, holy fuck. OP is a Destiny fan. After all this, Republicans never complain about anything Democrat does ever again. Future MAGA prison camp guard. I mean, I don't know. This is just some liberal, right? I mean, who cares? Like, yeah, the day he goes Republican, you will too. Oh, the day Destiny goes Republican, you didn't care when he boosted Sam Hyde, Nick Fuentes, or Warren Southern. It's Destiny. Yeah, don't talk to me about obeying in advance. Vote blue no matter who got us in this mess. Jesus. Man, wow. They're cannibalizing each other? Well, really, I mean, I think this is the problem, is that I think leftists know, or like liberals know, that the hardline leftists like Hassan have consolidated enough influence and power that if they try to work against a liberal establishment candidate, they will probably contribute to that candidate not winning the election. I think this is generally true, actually. And they've grown to be very influential. And there's a lot of them that are out there. Now, I'm not saying that it's a huge amount, but even if it's 5%, 5% can swing an election. So you can say, oh, wow, it's not that many numerically or like comparatively. But, you know, for how many there are, it can cause the difference in between, you know, a 51-50 toss-up, right? So what I think's happening is that they're angry that they can't ideologically browbeat these remaining 5% of people into voting the party line. And that's fundamentally what it is. They want to browbeat, virtue signal, and demonize anybody who refuses to vote the party line. And the fact is that a lot of people are actually in agreement against this. Like, we're doing the same shit with Biden, political strategy. You guys never learn. It's good. Even if you intend to vote for Biden, you should not say it and use the leverage in order to push for more concessions. I mean, again, I think that can possibly be true. I didn't know that. You told me this for the first time. What is this?
It's definitely the second best
So
option.
if Joe Biden got the nomination and is running against President Trump, you would not vote for him?
I don't know. I've honestly considered moving up into the mountains and living an anarcho-primitivist lifestyle if Joe Biden becomes the Democratic nominee.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, right? And reducing gap marginalized community, a single hypothetical vote, misunderstands how political engagement works. What is this here? The premise here is political morality is measured exclusively at the voting booth. Well, I mean, it is. I mean, you either make the decision or you don't. It's not that complicated. If you don't vote for the performative lib who started last year agreeing with Charlie Kirk about trans women, then you hate marginalized groups. I mean, if you don't choose the lesser of two evils and then the greater of two evils prevails, you do have a responsibility to that because you made a choice. Not choosing is a choice. You decide. Now, you can say that you're not going to do that, but don't go and say that you're perfect for it, right? This is what's so insane to me. Why are people, what is this all about? Yeah, it's a trolley problem. So just make the decision. If you think that it's better long-term to have more people suffer because then that will push your ideology, then just say that. And the problem with a lot of these leftist people is that they do not say what they actually believe. The fact is that they want things. This is the ideology that they have. They want things to get worse, so that way people are radicalized enough to vote for a candidate that they agree with. That's what their goal is. Just say that. And it's not insane to say, but it's really not. I think it's reasonable. You're American, so vote, but you are responsible. Yeah, they always invoke the marginalized people argument, but they never say what the fuck that means or in what way they're impacted. How are they impacted? Well, I'll give you some examples, right? So Donald Trump has gone on a number of things that have damaged trans people's ability to do certain things. Like, I think the best example that I can use is in the military. He kicked all the trans people out of the military. That's obviously something that if you're trans, you're probably going to be against. Even if you think that, they shouldn't be in the military, this was very clearly something that trans people were able to do that Donald Trump took away. He took it away. So I think that it's undeniable that's the case. Same thing with trans and sports. Now, I know it's a 90-10 issue, but there are the 10. And so whenever that 10% sees that, that is a reduction in the amount of things that trans people can do. Did he really kick them out or stop paying for it? They kicked them out. Yeah, they literally kicked him out. Like they said, they're getting rid of them. Hassan wants Republicans in office because he gets to cosplay as a revolutionary, which raises his profile and makes him more money. That's what he cares about. I mean, I do think that it works better as an outsider, like his perspective, definitely. But, you know, again, like it's hard really to say. But a lot of people are very angry about this, too. I even see that, where is it here? How many times are we going to run this back? 2026 election. That's right. And country is an insane asylum, but what do you mean you're already demanding people swear to vote for some corporate shithead almost 3 years from now? Well, it's because they think that the corporate shithead is going to be better than the other corporate shithead. Like, I mean, I don't know why. Like, why is this such a, like, why are there so many layers of dishonesty here? It's unbelievable to me that nobody just wants to talk about this. Like, they're just lying. They're just like, they're misrepresenting this on purpose. Why would you do this? No clue. I feel at trans and military only because I thought they need constant medication. I'm not a doctor. I don't understand it. I think they should do whatever the medical professionals think they should do. If they think that trans people are, you know, like they harm military readiness, then they shouldn't be in the military. If they think that it's a wash and it doesn't matter, then they should be in, right? It's pretty fucking simple to me. I think that the military, whenever you're putting people's lives at risk, you have to go a little bit beyond identity politics, right? Identity politics take a backseat to like life and death. That's my opinion. It has to do with mentally fitness? Yeah, but I'm not an expert in that. I don't really know. But that's the way that I would make the decision. Leftists are now telling you 2 years before the primary they will not vote for Gavin Newsom if he's the nominee. You have 2 years to find someone else. Yeah, so they won't vote for that person either, right? I mean, that's not necessarily a guarantee. I think it's a good thing to not preemptively swear your vote for Gavin Newsom before he's the candidate. I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, I think it's totally valid to say that I'm going to vote for anybody who's not Trump. I think that's totally valid. If you don't like Trump, that's completely okay for you to say that. Totally fine for you to say that. I think you can't just offload that to medical professionals. The same people that said that transing 8-year-olds was good. Well, you have to have the right professionals doing it. I mean, you're always going to have nutballs that say that stuff, but that's not something that I would always listen to. I knew a trans girl was in the military and she was in the medical leave for half a year and couldn't do deployment or any work during that time. Yeah, well, if that's the case for too many of them, then you shouldn't have them in there, right? It's pretty fucking simple. So, yeah, I mean, to me, it's a very, very simple decision to make. But yeah, there's a lot of people very angry at Hassan because he won't automatically say the party line. And I think that, again, this is a totally valid opinion to have. And anybody trying to push him to do that or just simply trying to co-opt his platform to make him say what they want. And I think that wanting to vote third party or abstaining and being a conscientious objector to a two-party system that you think doesn't represent you is a completely valid opinion to have, and it doesn't make you any less of a political activist or a political extremist or anything like that to have that viewpoint. And I also think that the opposite is true too. But I think that the issue is you can't push somebody else's values on, your values on somebody else.
You vote for J.D. Vance or Gavin Newsom?
Well, I'd have to vote for Gavin Newsom.
Me
of course,
too.
100%.
I wouldn't blink.
No
what
doubt.
about you, Hassan?
I'd probably vote third party.
You would?
He's gonna get mad.
I just, fuck him, dude. Fuck him.
Fuck him.
Opposition. Political opposition. Not on the team, guys. He is not on the team. He is indifferent to Republicans having power and all of the people that are harmed by that happening. He is opposition, okay?
Yep.
In no uncertain terms. This is nuts. This is a fucking bananas thing to say a year into this administration.
Yep.
2 dead people in fucking Minnesota. Minnesota, wow.
Minnesota.
How many?
It's called Snowgadishu.
How many people did we send to fucking like a torture prison in Seacott? Did we?
Not enough. Should have been more. Should have been a lot more.
Didn't we send possibly like American citizens there on accident?
Can't win them all.
The mass deportation program, ICE terrorizing civilians, millions dead USAID cuts, 11
huge W.
week blockade of aid going into Gaza, which very nearly caused a mass starvation event.
I have no idea about that.
Very close to being officially designated a famine.
Uh-huh. Surely Hamas had nothing to do with that.
Dismantling the Department of Education.
Thank God. Thank God. Kids are retarded nowadays. Obviously, it doesn't work.
Blowing up fucking fishermen in Venezuela.
Rip Bozo. Shouldn't have been selling drugs. Shouldn't have been running drugs around. There's a fishing submarine. Now it's dead. Too bad. Shouldn't have done it.
Invading Venezuela. Deposing a
Got him, bitch. You got nabbed. Now you're in a box. We win. Now we got your oil. W.
leader. I guess we're doing
That's
regime
right.
change again, just very blatantly and openly at this point.
Of course we are. We spend $1 trillion. Dude, we spend $1 trillion on the military. Fucking nothing. Dude, spending all this fucking money on the military just to not do anything. We spent $1 trillion. We can't even go get this piece of shit. What do you mean by that?
There's like fucking dozens of other just really awful, damaging things that he's done as president. And like,
sounds like a list of W's
after this,
to me.
you're like, nah, I don't know if I would vote third party. Fuck you, bro. This guy, man.
There's a lot of people out there. Here's the truth too, is that they can always virtue signal about how it's not a big deal. It's not a bad thing to vote third party. Or sorry, it is. It's a good thing to do that, but they never have to live the consequences of it. That's another big point. Like Hutch is right to an extent, right? Is that like, yeah, a lot of things, again, like if you're a liberal, like you're probably very upset about it, but none of these people have to do that at all.